ready for the fight. From the court to the field, they shine so bold. With every move, the stories unfold. We're cheering on the youth from the start to the win. Giving them the mic, let their voices begin. Interviews and highlights, we got it all. GN Sports Show, where the young stand tall. GN Sports, where the youth lead the way. Champions of tomorrow, making waves today. From ages 5 and up, we help them grow. It's their time to shine on the GN Sports Show. GN Sports Show.
Good evening and welcome to another episode of the GN Sports Show. We are on our 8th episode of season 2. Can you believe it? Always a pleasure to be here. I am Patrice Jacobs, Media and Production Associate at the Calvin Ayre Foundation. And with me at the round table today is none other than...
Jason Cordes, President of the CGPGA, the Cordes Gen X Parent Group Association. And today we have a very... It's exciting. It could be overwhelming, if we say the least, because we have royalty in the house today. All right, we have the Piggots Sports Club with us. Have the legendary Sir Curtley Ambrose, and what I think should be Sir Courtney Walsh, sitting right here at the round table. Guys, don't go anywhere. You wouldn't want to miss this. All the fans, all the parents and the grandparents who have followed these guys, they're right here at the GN Sports Show. So grab something to drink, grab a little snack, and we'll be right back.
Our vision is to become the premier platform for showcasing and empowering young student athletes, providing them with the tools and exposure to excel both in sports and life, while shaping the next generation of confident, media-savvy leaders. The GN Sports Show is dedicated to highlighting the talent and stories of young student athletes across all sports disciplines. We aim to equip them with vital media exposure and public speaking skills, helping them grow into confident individuals both on and off the field. Through engaging interviews, mentorship, and real-world media experiences, we strive to foster personal and professional development that supports their athletic journeys.
Hi, and welcome back to the GN Sports Show. At the round table, we now have with us members of the Piggots Sports Club. And we have two very handsome little fellas here that we're going to talk to today about how they've been doing in football, who got them involved in football, if they even like football. Yeah. And we also have their coaches here. So we're very happy to have you guys. All right, and to get to know you a little bit more, right, Jason?
All right, so we have Glenard Ambrose and we have Dwayne Fenton.
Hi, Dwayne.
Big Dwayne. How you going, Dwayne? You're good? Dwayne excited, man. Dwayne, let me ask you something. The people want to know, who's your favorite football team? What is your favorite football team?
Piggots.
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 So he's a superstar on the side of Piggots, you know. And who's your favorite player? Who's your favorite football player of all time?
Ronaldo.
Hey.
Ronaldo, better look out because you're coming for him, right? Right, you could be the next Ronaldo. Or use Piggots Ronaldo, under 7 Ronaldo. What school you go to?
Freeman Village.
Freeman Village. What class are you in?
Grade 1.
Grade 1? A big boy like you? What? He's a big man, big grade 1. You have a favorite teacher?
You
sure?
Teacher?
Yeah, sure. Them teachers looking, you know. They're going to say, that's my boy, you know.
He went on TV and didn't even pick me up.
Yeah. Let me hear from you, man. What's going on with you? What school you go to?
Clare Hall Secondary.
Clare Hall. How you all doing in football these days, Clare Hall Secondary?
We're doing pretty fine, I guess.
Nice. So what grade are you? Oh, you came second. Ooh, very nice. Were you a part of that victory?
Yeah.
Very, very nice. What grade are you in?
I'm in Form 2.
Form 2, okay. Nice. What about you? Do you have a favorite teacher? Favorite subject?
Okay, my favorite teacher for me is my maths teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm a brilliant boy in maths.
Hey, y'all hear that? Brilliant in math. I love
I came
it.
first with a 94%.
Wow,
That is
very
very
good.
impressive.
That's very good, Glenard, man.
So okay, I know you said your favorite teacher is your math teacher. Give a shout out to your math teacher, no?
Hi, Miss Scouting.
Miss Scouting.
Miss Scouting. I had
Make
a feeling it was a miss, you know.
Get right through all the time.
So, Your math teacher is your favorite, but is math your favorite subject as well?
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had a okay.
Now we
tell-
getting into it. What's
Yeah.
your favorite subject?
My favorite subject is PE.
I was going to say that. Too. I could have put money on that P. I
On
could
the
have put money
P.
on the P.
And how long have you been with the Piggots Sports Club?
Around 7 or 8 years. I started when I was
wow.
3 in the juniors.
Very
So
nice.
you're a mini vet.
Yeah, as Jason like to say, a superstar. You're a
Superstar.
Piggot superstar.
What position you play though?
I play left wing back and sometimes left back.
What? So he's a fighter man. That's a fighting position, you know. You know, you could help orchestrate the moves on the field because you bringing that ball up and all these different things.
Put it across.
Put it across.
Hey,
That's all
I
it is. Put it across.
And like, so in terms of school, you know, I know you're young, but still, I'm sure you must have some aspirations, some goals you want to attain when you leave high school. You know, what are your plans for the future?
Well, my plans for the future is very simple. I want to become a professional footballer.
Hey.
So, in order to do that, schoolwork comes along with that. So, you have to push yourself to be better than you were yesterday.
I love
Wow.
that.
Big
Wow,
talk,
big
Leonard.
advice,
Big talk,
yes.
Leonard.
So, my plan is I just have to be bold in order to complete my dreams.
Yeah, very good. Hey,
love that.
Leonard. Hey,
Very
I like
nice.
that.
And you know what? I'm going to pick your brain a little bit more because I like how you sound, right? Because not only do you sound very smart, but you're also very balanced, I can tell. So talk to us a little bit about how you balance your schoolwork with your football career,
Yeah.
because we know it's no easy feat.
No, sometimes I have to ask mommy like twice or 5 times, let me go football. Sometimes she be like, study first and then go
Oh,
football. So when I come home, I do my chores, then I do a little revision, and then I go to football.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, I just want to drop a personal link in that to my kids. Listen to Glenard. My kids especially. He comes home. He does
his
chores. Chores.
That was my takeaway too.
He study. And then he get to play. I just said, I didn't say, you know, a super professional young man say, all right, let me leave it right there.
So big man Dwayne, you do chores too? A little
Yeah.
bit. Yeah.
Let me hear your chores. What do you do? What does this have to do when you go home?
My grandma.
And they have to make sure your clothes put out in the laundry and stuff like that, right? And don't leave your book bag on the floor.
And your shoes, you have to take them off and so, right? Very nice.
So what do you want to be when you get big?
Play football.
Play football? I feel you're going to be playing football when you get big, boy.
Yes, and I'm looking
I
out for
feel
you.
so.
I'm going to come to all your games and watch you play, and I'm going to watch you grow up really, really big, right? And become a professional footballer, right? That's right, Big Dwayne.
I'll be looking out for you next week.
Next week.
I'll be looking out for you next week. For sure.
Well, gentlemen, it was really nice having you. Upcoming football stars.
Football stars.
Yes.
Well, Glenad not kind of upcoming. You know, he's not a football star already. So, you know.
So Glennon and Dwayne, thank you guys so much for being on GN Sports Show. It was so good having you. We're going to talk to your coaches now to get more information about the Piggots Sports Club. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for inviting us.
Yes.
Welcome to the ACB Caribbean Youth Football League wrap-up. The league is also sponsored by Milo, AS Bridens and Sons, Citizenship by Investment Unit. These are the point standings for the most recent matches.
Okay, so we're back from the break, and we just had the superstars from the Piggots Sports Club, and now we have their superiors, their super superior coaches. We have Auckland Jarvis and we have Gershom Phillip. Guys, welcome to the Round Table GN Sports Show. How are you guys doing today?
I'm good. We're good. Thanks for having us.
It's a pleasure having you guys here, man.
Now, to kick off, I saw something that I found was very remarkable and outstanding, and I think it's the right note to start on. So the Piggots Sports Club has a motto. It's an acronym, TEAM, which means together each achieves more. I love it. Together each achieves more. How would you say that you instill this philosophy in your players both on and off the field?
As I said, we kind of started with the sports club, but we started with the football team many years ago. We struggle a lot with discipline somewhat. So we after every practice we keep saying together to achieve more. We talk about the team concept, being together, staying together no matter what, the good, the bad times. So we kind of speak to that with from the football standpoint. Off the field, meaning it's a sports club. So when we do fundraisers, community cleanup, and so forth, that team effort comes about right there.
Absolutely.
Also the one way, like last season, the football team, there's a 7-a-side. That's literally, we leave that up, the sports will leave that up to the football team. So that's their fundraiser. So the guys from the football team have to come together, plan it, and do everything.
I like that. So it's almost like you force them into it with the goal of them maintaining and fostering teamwork. And one of the things that we've spoken about is how sports nowadays seems to be an individual thing. So even though people are on teams, everybody still wants to be their own individuals.
We have to understand that if we come together, we can be stronger and we can be bigger than one person pushing is if everybody push together. You know what I mean? Because there's so many times, as P said, the nowadays athlete, the younger athletes, I want to be the star. I don't care about you and you and you. I want when the game finish, people talking about me and me. And it doesn't matter that we lose, I score 5 goals. You know what I mean? That's not the mentality.
Can't be the takeaway.
With the same fundraiser, it'll be difficult just trying to get them to rally together.
Wow.
But in the midst of doing it and getting to the goal, that's when they realize after they're like, hey, we could have done this, hey, we could have done this. And that's when they get it, when they get to the end.
I like that. So just to kind of get a little nosy in your business and get to know you guys a little bit more. I'll start with you, Auckland. You've had a very remarkable journey in football coaching, whether it be from youth development to teams as big as national teams. What would you say inspired you to start coaching, and how has that philosophy and that mindset changed over the years?
I started coaching basically, myself and Gershom, we played for the senior team.
Okay.
I always had fellas from the village that probably help along, not certified coaches. And after they finish playing now, and we realize the younger guys are coming behind us and there's no one doing it for the younger guys. They were just there. We had Skeppel doing it, and then it was a bit of talk between him and the senior team.
Right.
So both of us decided, no, look, there are some youths that are not tagging along, so we take them and started the youth academy.
Wow.
I like that. So you saw the potential. You saw where the teams could do better, could grow, and took that on.
It was at the point where Skep was coaching the guys, and then the guys were more looking to go out the village rather than be a part of the team.
Be a part of it,
Yeah, so we decided, no, okay, we are getting out of the team.
Right.
There's a spare time where I have time after work, and so I decided, no, I could just take some of the guys, build a team, and then you start from there. For me, and then after that I realized now you have to educate yourself. So I started to go coaching courses to get more up like with the modern day game and basically how to put forward the knowledge to those youths. So that's where I started now to go and learn to get more educated with the game, more on top of everything. And it took me now to loving it more and trying to be more advanced. And then you started doing it and get success about it, so it's draw other aspects of the game. So I went to the national team. But for me, the philosophy came from just building the youth in our community, trying to make them better persons inside. But my philosophy is just developing better persons through hard work and discipline.
I like that.
And that's basically where it started from.
Well, you, Gershom, as football coordinator and coach, you know what I mean, what strategies do you employ to help promote, you know what I mean, and develop local talent in the Piggots community?
As you said, we both started as players. The journey started in 2000, well, since I knew myself, really, going to school, just as Glenn had, playing for the senior team. In terms of strategy, over time, what I realized is, as he said, the coaching, education, having a good team around the players. And our club is pretty much open to anyone from the community. And once we see a talent in them, we try to push them even towards the national team, to go more places, trying to get out the village somewhat, instead of just not just about football, maybe going to school, doing different things like that. So we just kind of, it's kind of just identify the talent, give them the opportunity, identify the talent, and trying to push them a little further.
Very nice. I like that. And then for you, Auckland, I know you've worked with different groups. So under 14, under 15, under 17, under 20. Like what would you say are some of the different strategies that you've had to put in place to train at all these different levels?
It's different at each age level, competitive wise, and both the ability. As most of the kids kind of get a little more better as they go older.
Right.
At 14 is just raw talent, and the competition is just getting them to be, in a competition, represent the country, learning to be internationals. So it don't look much about winning because it's just a challenge series.
Right.
So it's just to challenge the guys to see what level they are at. And then you go into the 15 where it's a championship. Yet it's a championship, but at that age group, you find maybe you have 5-6 players with above talent in that pool, and they could carry a team. So it's more like, the players adapting to being at the next level.
I got you.
It's not more of a team. At national level, you want to compete, you want to win. So sometimes it becomes difficult for those who are not carrying the weight.
Yeah.
So I'd say at that level, it's hard to develop more.
Right.
And then at 17s now, it's about winning. It's about World Cup qualifying, and same thing as 20.
Yes, that's like the
get
big
on that big
league.
stage, make a name. Try to get out. See someone picks you up, try to make you a professional. And that's what you aspire to. And at that age group is where the door opens. So that's where the levels go up. And at the levels, as I say, coming up the ranks, so it's just different.
Right.
More application for yourself personally at 20 and 17s. But I think it's been a good journey for me. A lot of experience, learned a lot. I've been around a lot of the young players you see now in the national team and around the country. So it's been fun.
Definitely been a good payoff.
So, Gurjam, in your tenure as with the Piggots Bullets and so forth, what do you think were some of your most memorable moments?
We're talking about football or sports?
Football. And what are some of your challenges as well?
Memorable, I would say, we got to a couple of finals with the football team. It's not that simple. We got to finals, a lot of knockout finals and so forth. And we've won, I think we used to call ourselves like a knockout team. We don't really necessarily win the league, but if you put 500 on the line, 1,000 on the line, we beat anybody in that team. That kind of thing.
Yep.
And like that. So we won a lot of knockout championships like that. Even got into the ABFA knockout finals twice. One of the low moments was we lost one because the team ended up in a fight.
Oh,
Wow.
No.
And that was, even then, that's with the team, even the discipline-wise, I keep swinging to the younger players because I've been a part of fights. I was a management and saw that fight having to be taking players apart.
Yeah.
It was just chaotic. So I keep telling them, that's not in football.
Right.
You don't want to ever get
to that place again.
To that place ever.
Yes.
So that's one of the kind of low moments. But it was in the final, and one thing we have a joke of one of the players who was key in it. I call him 17,000 or 15,000. That's where we were leading. And we lost. We didn't get anything because the team got disqualified.
Wow.
A little fracas and so forth.
And look at that. We keep going back to it.
Yeah.
The importance of teamwork, the importance of taking yourself out of it and thinking about what the team needs.
What the team needs, what's
because
best for
just
them.
that one player getting into something costs the entire team.
Yeah.
And I mean,
some people wanting it more than the others. Some people needing it more than
the others.
some,
Yeah. But before we go on, I feel like we should back up a little, Jason, because I know Auckland spoke about where the club started, and we know it started with football, but it is actually Piggots Sports Club. So tell the people a little bit about the club itself and what are some of the other disciplines that fall within your remit.
The sports club, I'm trying to tell the exact year we we've always been together with the football team, cricket team, same way. But then we
Okay.
decided to kind of one body, kind of come together and have a sports club. I think that was maybe 2009, 9, 10, somewhere around there.
Okay, nice.
Somewhere around there, we decided to have both one executive running both sports. So we mainly do football, cricket. We had a female team, we have the youth team. And
Nice.
that's what we have. We have domino, guys, just community. It's just an open
Yeah,
area.
yeah.
Even Piggots, it's just an open area where anyone from the community come out and be a part of it.
So it's like a bonding,
Yeah,
a
it's
community bonding institution.
And I can tell you, you
Which is
pass
needed.
Piggots every
Yeah.
weekend, something's always happening over there.
I passed Piggots
Always,
today and
always
it
live,
have football going on.
If have football, it
One
have
person from the
domino.
community who has just started Wednesday night bingo.
No?
Ah,
Okay.
nice.
Yeah, just to keep the community going.
Yes.
But you know what I want to do? I want you guys, right, to say to anybody who in their community may not have something, not just for the youths, but for the community at large, because they're, you know, as we say, we pass by Piggots and stuff going on, and there are a lot of communities you pass by and it's crickets, right? Nothing's going on, but you guys decided, I want to do something. I want to do
Something
something for
more.
the kids. I want to do something for the community. How could you say something to anybody out there who's in a community and wants to do something but just don't know how, or, you know, what would you say to somebody like that?
Like, how do they start, for instance?
I would say just start it, and I guess there's something I keep in my mind, a world changer mentality, and I learned that from college. It's world change doesn't mean they don't mean a big world.
Right.
The world could be Piggots is our world. Which
Yes,
is the best world
yeah,
in the
like
world.
that.
Yeah, very,
yes.
I like that.
I love
yeah.
that, yes.
Could be your world.
Yes.
So start small. Even if you start with youths, I would say.
Yeah.
No matter what the sport, start with youths. Just get them together. If it's a ball, just get them a ball until them come. Those kids will play, they will have fun, and others will come and see. And then after a while, you realize, okay, there's so much kids. You have to get structured. I have to get this. I have to do this with the kids. I have to do that. So just start small. Just start. All I can say is start.
Yeah.
Just start.
Just start.
Somewhere. You might
Start
not be able to
somewhere.
change
Just
the whole
start.
world,
Whatever
but
you
you can
have,
change your
Whatever you
world.
have, you just start.
I like that.
Just to add something to what Gershom said, because when we started the youth academy, we started with one team, one age group. Because we had a bunch of guys who were 13, turning 11, some 12, probably 13, and played the national under 13 competition. We didn't do well, but in probably about the next 6 months, we could have played 3 different age groups.
Wow.
Because kids start to join from
Wow,
other parts
different
of the
ages,
community,
yeah,
other
yeah.
communities. And that propelled us. Some of the guys now are playing in the senior team. Some of the guys
Wow.
who have already represent national teams, you know, from where we started.
So it's been evolving.
Yeah. Just
Constant.
start.
But it's infectious, I think, because
Absolutely.
the amount of participation you see when you pass in the Piggots field, you want to get involved.
Yeah.
I would say, and you just are doing. I told you, drove by when doing a youngster. He's my friend, you know him.
Right.
Drove by. He's been driving by with his grandma, and she keeps saying every time he passes Piggots, he said, "Grandma, I want to go. I want to play." And she just stopped the car. I remember I was practicing.
Wow.
Yeah.
And she just literally walked into the practice and said, "Hey, I have a little child. He's killing me to come."
Oh, my
So they just
goodness.
bring him.
Yeah.
And
And this
that's
is
where we started.
young superstar under
Dwayne,
7 Dwayne
that
that
was
was
with
just
us.
here.
He was about it with his grandma, and she
I
just
like
stopped
that.
one day and said, "Hey, let me take him," because every time she said,
And you can tell he already has passion as young
Yeah,
as he is.
Very
His
much.
dad plays for Attacking Saints in the Premier League.
Okay.
Every time, if they play Saturday, he's there every Saturday. If they play Sunday, he's there every Sunday.
Wow.
no, he's advanced
So what days are your training days?
from Mondays and Fridays. Monday, Friday, Saturday.
And Saturday.
the 10 to 15 goes from the Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Okay.
The big ones.
So guys, if you're in the Piggots community,
Yes.
and you have a kid, or you're a kid yourself and you're watching and you want something to do and you don't want to stay home, come down to the field.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It doesn't have to be community. You drive by.
Yes.
Drive by.
Like
Yep,
little
yep,
Dwayne.
You drive by. Just bring them. Just start. Just drive in and start.
And
Yeah.
start.
That's the start.
Wonderful. Well, gentlemen, it was a pleasure. I'm sure I speak for both Jason and I.
Yeah, no, listen, I'm always elated with Piggots, and every time, yes, I don't want to say it's rivals, I don't want to say that, but it's kind of that.
At the moment it is.
At the moment it
But
is.
it's healthy
a friendly,
rivalry.
healthy
Yes,
rivalry
yes.
with Generation Next and with Piggots.
Piggots.
And
You
it's
keep us on
always,
our toes.
We always have this thing. hey, we playing Piggots, you know, so you better. That's how it is. Hey, tomorrow is Piggots, so make sure you give the best game. You know what I mean? So it's always a pleasure, man. So we're gonna be watching out that. So thank you guys for being here. It's been a pleasure.
We would like to thank the sponsors of Generation Next, Fruta, Antigua Masonry Products, Kenneth A. Gomez Insurance Agency, Island Photo, and Francis Trading Agency.
That's it. Curtley Ambrose strikes once more. Emotional moment for one of the most admired cricketers in the history of the game.
And welcome back to the GN Sports Show. And as I mentioned before, the highlight of tonight, Sir Curtley Ambrose and the amazing Courtney Walsh on set here to tell you all everything you'll need to know about them and all about their journeys. It's a pleasure to have you here. We want to find out as much as we can about the history of you being introducing yourself into cricket and your journey that everybody has been watching so far. So Sir Curtley, welcome.
Well, thanks for having me. It's a really pleasure to be here. I can't tell everything. Some things that were left unsaid.
Yes, something we had to leave in the locker room.
Yeah. No, but I got into cricket reluctantly because for me growing up, I wanted to be a basketball player.
Yes.
That was my passion. And if I couldn't play basketball, I want to play football, as in soccer. Because sometimes the football, people talk about American football and all that stuff. So I gotta make it right, you know. But my mother, who was a cricket fanatic, always wanted a cricketer in the family. My older brother used to play for Sweets, where we're from, before he migrated to the States to join our father. And since I was next in line, my mother kept pestering me about, you got to play cricket. And she's calling out the names from the past, the 3 W's and Secretary Sobers and all those guys. I said, man, cricket to me looked like hard work.
Right.
And I said, no, basketball, 48 minutes, slam dunk.
Yeah. Because you have the height for it.
And then I reluctantly got into cricket in 1984, playing for Sweets. And then, as luck would have it, a year later, I was selected for the Antigua national team in 85. And then I was drafted in for the Leeward Islands team in 1986. I wasn't originally in the squad, but a couple of the fast bowlers got injured. So they drafted me in for the final game in 86.
Right.
Didn't play in 87, went to camp, and didn't make the team.
Wow.
To the annoyance of many, you know. And then in 88, came back into the camp, did well, made the Leeward Islands team, and then everything just took off after that.
Just took off. That's amazing.
Mr. Courtney Walsh, you know, my fellow Jamaican Antiguan, how are you?
Very good, thank you. Very good.
So for you, what has your journey been like? What were the initial steps? You know, who got you into cricket? What got you into cricket?
I'm the opposite of Curtley. He still doesn't like cricket. I got into cricket because I had a special love for the game. I just wanted to play cricket.
Right.
So from the tender age of about 5 or 6, I can remember playing with lime milk box, tennis balls, sneaking over to Melbourne, which was at that time Chinese athletic club, to get in a game of cricket. When the first car drive through the gate, you have to run away because the big boys are coming. You're not allowed to be over there. And that's how it started.
Right.
And then I just wanted to play cricket, so I used to go and score the board at Melbourne.
Oh,
when the Senior Cup team was playing, I would push out the water card just to try to be involved with the game.
Jeez.
And I remember one Sunday, my grandmother says to me, "Where you going?" I said, "Well, I'm going to score the board." She said, "No, I didn't go to church this morning," so, you know. So, but it was a challenge. And then she said to me, "If you want to go and do all these other activities, you have to make sure that you do the right thing first."
Yes.
And you know, I got into a routine where, because I wanted to play, I would do everything that was required to be done first. So it started for me at Melbourne, and everything was happened from Melbourne. I made the Jamaica youth team, made my high school team, everything at Melbourne. But while I was at high school, I was playing club cricket for Melbourne as well.
Okay, wow.
Then I played youth cricket, and then I made the team to England in 1982.
Right.
And they had a big send-off for me. First, I made the Jamaica team to Trinidad first in 1980 with the current CEO, Chris Derring. You'll be happy that I mentioned his name.
Chris, you hear that?
A lot of people don't know that. All players used to get together. And then it was me, him, Patrick Patterson, and a number of other guys. And I made a team to England in '82. Roger Harper was the captain, and Seymour Nurse was our coach. And got a slight back injury. And I thought, I'm not going to play cricket anymore. So Randy Roberts came to Jamaica and was laughing at me because back in the days I was bowling leg spin and pace, and he keeps saying bowl fast, bowl fast. And when my back was giving me trouble, and I was thinking of packing it in, he gave me some exercise to do. And that sort of helped me, and I came back and played for the senior Jamaica team, and then went to Zimbabwe in '83 with the West Indies team. So the journey was going well, and then I made the West Indies team in 1984 to go to England, and everybody said I took Andy Roberts' spot. He doesn't think so, right? But that's how it worked out, and he was left out of it too, and I got with Milton Small.
Right.
And then the rest was history for me. But I had a special love for the game, and just that hasn't changed.
Right. I like that. Now, the truth is, Jason, I don't think we can go much further without acknowledging the fact that we all, or most of us, know that you guys have a very, very good relationship.
I'm not so sure about that.
You're not so sure about that? That's up to debate.
Not anymore.
Not anymore?
Because he didn't listen to me. His was hard. I said to him,
Yes.
you have played 98 test matches.
Yes.
Not many fast bowlers are going to play 100.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Come to Australia, play 2 test matches with me, and
Yes.
if you want to go home after, you can
You
go
do
home,
that.
or we can keep you for the rest of the tour. He didn't listen.
Oh, my.
What?
So he ended up 98 test match. The one thing he listened to, he stayed around to get the 400 test.
You get the
Yes,
400.
you got
He didn't listen to me for that, but didn't, just got the harder haze and didn't listen. And then I was struggling in Australia without him.
Oh, my goodness.
You see, you caused
You have
that.
to work on that.
You caused
You see,
that.
look at what
But
you caused.
And it evolved them into becoming a sir.
Yeah.
You know.
Indeed.
Very well deserved. Very well deserved.
Good for you. But I mean, I'm sure everyone would love to know, myself included. I'm a little nosy. How did the relationship start? I mean, naturally, we know usually if you're in a game such as cricket and you're both playing with some of the same teams, etc., that there are going to be crossover. But how exactly did the relationship start, and how has it maintained over the years?
Well, before I made West Indies team, I got a very, very good friend of mine from Swiss we call Balu, who works at Midway Service Station, and he's always a big supporter of Courtney. And he always say things like, he may not get the amount of wickets like a Marshall or a Holding or a Ghana, but when the times are hard and they need somebody to hold up one end, it's always Courtney.
It's always Courtney.
So it's always Courtney. So when I made the team in '88, I said, well, we have a problem, because you and I grew up together,
Right.
went to school together. Now I'm an international cricketer.
Right.
How is this going to go? So it's, well, no, it's different. We are buddies, we're friends. Courtney, I'm a big fan, So there was no arguments. Fair enough. But Courtney and I weren't friends from the start.
Right.
Because when I made the team, I knew Sir Viv and Sir Richie and Winston Benjamin, all Antigua, and so I played with these guys for Leeward Island, so I stayed close to these guys until I get to know the other guys properly.
Right.
And then Courtney and I were teammates, but weren't real friends per se. And then we started sharing rooms. And back in those days, we had a roommate. And that's when we started to know a lot about each other, learn about each other, and the friendship just grew from there up to this very day. And one of the good things about it, we've never competed against each other.
Oh, that's great.
We're both fast bowlers. We always do what's required for the team. If it's his day, when he's taking wickets, my job was simply to make sure I keep it tight from the other end, give nothing away, and watch him do his stuff. And if I'm taking wickets, he do the very same. So there was no competition between us. So that even strengthened our bond, because we never tried to outdo each other. And our friendship just got stronger and stronger.
Well, that's a very professional thing, right?
Yes,
Just
absolutely.
to strengthen that a little bit more. There's a particular game in Barbados where both of us were on trial for the test team for that game. And we didn't come, it was a one-day game, and we found ourselves with a new ball. And Curtley says to him, he's joking, he said, we're on trial. And what he said, good luck to whosoever survives.
Oh, wow.
So we went out there, still with the team in mind, no selfishness about, I want to get the wicket because I want to play, or he wanted to get wicket. We went out there and we just did what we had us to do. He got selected for the test match. I stayed and watched a couple of days and left. And then went back home. But it didn't affect our friendship at all. In fact, it probably got us closer.
I love
As from roommates and everything. And I mean, I refer to him as my brother.
Yes.
right, from another mother. So
Absolutely.
that's how close we are. And whenever he goes to Jamaica, if he goes, and my mom is him, her face just lights up.
Aww.
Yeah. That kind of friendship, you know? Yeah.
Because I was wondering that. Okay, you guys are two fast bowlers, right? This is West Indies. You know what I mean? I am I was, fantasizing about West Indies cricket, watching my father and uncles and all of them. Trinidad shut down when cricket started playing. There's nothing going on. Everybody watching cricket on TV. And so you guys are on this main stage. So it must have been, hey, I'm a fast bowler. I know he's a fast bowler, People looking, and you have to represent for your Antigua and you have to represent for Jamaica. So it's like, I wondered if there was that little, not a riff, but there's a real competitive edge that let me go out there and do a little bit more.
Never that.
We never competed against each other.
Never,
Always
ever.
compliment each other.
Yeah.
Never,
And
ever.
that is amazing.
I think that's what made the partnership so great.
So great, yeah.
We understood each other, we know what the team required. And
Yeah.
that was one of our motto, whatever the team required.
Whatever the team
We
requires.
always try to stick with that. And then just assessing how we go about it. And as he said, on his good days, I would just support, and on my good days, vice
He was,
versa.
yeah.
And in testimony of that as well, I remember another test match at Lords where you were struggling.
Yeah.
And I could see it from fine leg, and I remember leaving fine leg and going up to him and said, something doesn't look right here, but
Yeah.
what's good? And he said, well, my legs and them feeling, whatever it was, but
Yeah.
it's really must with him.
Yes,
So he
yes,
was
yes.
struggling. And I said, well, okay, I am feeling very good. I'll take over.
You can take
Wow.
over.
I ended up bowling a longer spell from one hand so that he could,
Catch
Recuperate
himself.
and catch
right,
himself.
Right,
and that's
right.
how we look after each other. And if it's the same thing for me, if he see me struggling, he says, why are you struggling today, boy? Well,
Yeah.
yeah, and he would pick up the slack. And then I just dragging back his memory as well. Our last test match at Lords, he drew it to my attention. None of us are on the board. One of us has to get rid. He didn't say, he didn't want to.
Yeah.
One of us. So it didn't matter which one.
Which one? Yeah.
But when we look at
Wow.
the list, none of us was on the list. And
None
we
of
said,
us,
all
yeah.
of us play at law. And he says, one of us has to get up there. Fortunate enough, I did. But it was like we did, so to speak.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a
It was
team
unheard
effort.
of if
Yes.
none of us
If none of you,
Yeah.
And I
That's
think
what we
it
look at.
sends a much bigger message because, a lot of the sports disciplines that we know of are team sports.
Yeah.
But what I find happens a lot, and I'm sure you guys can attest to it, is that you have these people who say they're a part of a team.
Yeah.
They want to be a part of a team, but they come with this individualism mentality that never changes.
Yeah.
You know, and just imagine how much could have been lost if both of you, as legendary, as big celebrities, both playing the same positions, rivaled. We wouldn't be here today. So just kind of going a bit more into the meat of the matter per se. One of the things that most of us know you for, Courtney, is your incredible stamina and sportsmanship while you were part of the team. What would you say was your secret to maintaining your fitness and just having a very strong mental game throughout your career?
I think mentally is what helped me to get physically fit. Because I was strong enough and I was strong-minded. I had us to be fit.
Yeah.
And I remember back in the days when I was probably about 19, I was still in high school or just left high school. I used to just go to Melbourne to run. So I would get up in the morning at 4:30 to do my exercise, just running only.
Jeez.
And there's two footballers that used to come to the club. And they train in the morning. I would just run when they were doing their drills and stuff.
Right.
And I remember there was another guy that we used to run in the evening after practice. But the three West Indian cricketers and the club captain used to come and laugh in a good way.
Yeah.
Right? There was Arthur Barrett, Bruce Wellington, who had played at the highest level, right? And our club captain, Rolly Williams, at the time. And they said, "What? You behaving like a running man?" But I felt that if I was physically fit, then I could conquer the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
So mentally, that helped me to get mentally strong.
Yes.
So the more I run and the more I exercise and do my push-ups, and I didn't go to the gym, I just did body weights.
Oh.
Right.
So the more that I did, I felt stronger. So I just felt like I'm in control.
Yes.
So on a match day when I come out to bowl, I felt like, well, look, all that work I put in, I can now deliver.
Amazing.
And I could start to feel the strength and stuff while I was playing youth cricket and stuff. And I think that's what got me to get the stamina to be able to do that. I was just probably a fitness freak.
Yeah.
And then when I got injured, I could start tell the difference. I damaged my shoulder, and I started to do extra work for my shoulder, and it got a lot stronger than it used to be.
Oh.
And I could feel the difference in when I was bowling.
not by lifting up just light weights and repetition.
Right.
So I was
right,
never
right.
a love of the gym, even though he might think differently, but I was supposed to go because he didn't like the gym at all. So I couldn't say to him, let's go to the gym, but I would say, let's go run. He would jog, tool up, and then go on.
And he gone for the business.
He sit on the road and watch, and I would jog at 5 o'clock. Because mentally, that's what helped me.
Yeah.
And I'll say it in front of him or behind him. He was one of the few guys that would switch on and switch off when he wants to.
Yeah.
So we could be going on the bus. He's playing music and everything, but as he gets to go, he switch on.
Yes.
We could be training, and he knows when that's knowing your body.
Absolutely.
You bowl 2 overs, or
Absolutely.
a spell, and he says, "I've had enough."
Yeah.
And then, but so I would never ever force him because I know when I know I have enough.
Yes.
And there was time when I have to bowl 2 more extras over to feel that, to get that good feeling.
Right.
But the thing is, once I'm match fit, I don't need to do any extra work. I know what I'm doing.
I like that.
And it's knowing your body. I think we learned that pretty early and know how to do it. So if I bowl for 45 minutes of practice, you might just bowl for 20 minutes.
Right.
That's all you needed to do.
Right.
Right,
That's
right.
his
And there's
capacity.
understanding and
Right.
what's going on and thing. And then you will come back and check on me. I remember one practice session he came and he said, "You sure you want to be bowling so long?" I said, "I don't feel it yet, but and then this time I'll just go out and bowl 2 spells and tell him, I have enough.
Don't.
Have
Because
enough.
I
Right.
feel good."
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's just understanding and knowing your body.
Understood.
Yeah.
I like that.
But so Curtley, same thing to you, mental toughness. Now everybody know you, with this intimidating presence and your accuracy and so forth. How did you prepare for these matches, these big matches against even these top batsmen that you have to go out there and try to take the wickets? How did you mentally prepare for that?
Well, unlike Courtney, who is a fitness freak, I've always believed that if I can just turn up at the game
Right.
and do
That was it.
my work, that would be it.
Yep.
But as a professional, it will never work.
Yeah.
So I've put in most of my hard work is during pre-season. Put in the hard yards. But once the tournament starts, I'm going to be bowling every day basically.
Right.
So I just do enough to keep me that high level of fitness. There's no shortcuts.
Yeah.
But I think apart from my skills and all that, I'm strong mentally. And as you say, my intimidating factor.
Yep.
I believe my pride was my biggest asset.
Right.
Because
I got
I'm a
you.
very proud man.
You're very proud. Yep.
And
Yep.
anything I do, I want to be the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I refuse to be second. I refuse to lose. So hence sometimes my extra aggressiveness, and sometimes guys get roughed up in the process.
Yeah.
But it's a pride thing for us. Not just
Yes.
me, but Court and everyone. It's a pride thing. That's why we were so successful.
Yeah.
We refuse to lose.
Yes.
So I think my pride, sometimes I've been accused of being too aggressive and too intimidating, but it's all about being winners. And once I'm doing it within the laws of the game,
Yep.
that's part of my game.
Because I was going to ask you, did you ever realize the intimidation presence you had?
No, I don't. Only when people mention it.
When people mention
Because
it?
once I'm competing,
Yeah.
I'm zoning
That, yeah.
to doing the best for my team to win. So even though I'm looking intimidating and all, getting aggressive, that's part of my nature.
Yeah, yeah.
When I was a young boy in streets growing up, even playing marbles and stuff, I want to win.
You want to win.
So it's not something I practice.
Yeah.
This is a natural thing for me. Once I'm competing, I'm naturally aggressive,
Yep,
and the
yep.
pride thing kicking,
Kicking.
and I want to win.
Yep, I got you.
So, yeah.
But that's probably what powers you through.
Yes, yes.
Absolutely.
I don't want to be second.
Yeah.
Winning, when you lose, it's not a nice feeling.
It's not a nice
Right,
feeling.
So when you're winning, not only ourselves as a team, but the whole Caribbean,
Right.
Yeah.
other cricket lovers, So we know we're the chosen few. So we carry the whole nation on
Yes,
our backs.
yes.
Right.
So we have to
Yeah.
perform
That is
so they
true.
can be happy.
That's a big job.
So it's a huge job.
Yes.
And we did it with pride.
Absolutely.
What about you? What you think was your best performance?
There's a few. From a team point of view and personal point of view, I think getting 13 wickets in a test match in New Zealand for 55 was probably my best. It was my best test performance and
Right.
most satisfying because we won the test match with time to spare.
Yeah.
And I remember the opposition coach was saying this is going to be a draw. 'Cause we made almost 500.
500 plus.
500 plus, I think 560 with a
Yeah.
few centurions.
Yeah.
Wow.
And when we were coming off the field, he said, his comments, which I overheard, was, it's going to be a draw now because we're just going to bat the rest of the test match out. And we proved him wrong.
Yep.
We won with a day to spare. And so that, from a team point of view and personal satisfaction, yes. I've had a few, when we bowled out of South Africa at Barbados, Curtley and I, that was something very, very special as well. So the one that gave me goosebumps to today is winning by 1 run against Australia at Adelaide.
Wow.
So those are probably my 3 standouts, but that one against Australia, it's hard based on what was happening.
Yep.
Not to have it up there in my top 3.
Yeah.
Right.
But I can't give you one. I can probably give you 3.
As
Those
you
are
say
3
that,
good ones.
as you say that, what do you guys think, both of you? What do you guys think? Who you guys think was one of your most formidable opponents? Which country you think was, it was a heg in your back? Like, no, you see, we playing them, we have to go out, we have to give 1,000%. Is them.
I think Australia for me.
Australia?
Because of the competitiveness. Probably Curtley will agree that that was the team I always want to do well against and play against, because they play a very hard, good competitive cricket, and so to beat them in Australia was never easy. And then sometimes the fans that comes out, yes, they're supporting Australia, but they're supporting good cricket.
Yeah.
If you perform, you can win them over.
Yeah, Australia was always very formidable. They really produced some fantastic cricketers over the years, even before our time. The days of Surveyor, Clive and these guys.
Right.
And as Courtney say, never easy to beat Australia in Australia. When they got 80,000 people and only 11 of us on the field, against you. If you're not strong mentally, you're gone.
That's it.
So against Australia is one of the top teams, and then I'll add Pakistan, because all the years we battle against Pakistan here in the Caribbean or in Pakistan, most of the times the series are drawn 1-1. Normally 3 test matches. It was tough to beat Imran Khan and company. Wasim Akram and these guys, Javi Meander, tough. And then we finally beat them in the Caribbean in 1993. But always a drawn series, and they were tough. So those 2 would be my top 2.
Would be a top 2.
Same here.
Well, so Courtney, for you, having been captain of the West Indies team during quite a challenging period, what would you say were some of the biggest challenges you faced during that time, and how did you manage those?
I can answer some of them on here.
Okay, that's okay. Don't say the ones you can.
For me, I think, we hadn't lost a test series when I took over. We went to India without my good friend here, not by his choice.
Right.
And we lost the first test in Bombay. When if he was there, we would have won it hands down. But it was out of my control.
Right.
And then we came back and won in Chandigarh to level the series. So it was very satisfying not to lose your first test series away from home.
Right.
Against India backyard. Supposed to be spin dominant. That was a challenging time, but it was very good to leave there with a draw.
Right.
The most disappointing time for me was in Pakistan, where we lost all test matches there. We lost 3 test matches. And I ended up with most wickets, but that didn't mean anything to me. I didn't remember how much the wickets was because of how badly we lost.
How badly you lost.
So that was the most disappointing time in my career as a captain, losing all the test matches in Pakistan. But not wanting to sort of do anything different. It was out of my control.
Right.
With a lot of stuff. So I wouldn't go back down there. But those were the two series I had. We lost 3-2 to Australia in Australia. Very challenging series. Could have gone either way. So, but my tenure, I enjoyed it. It made me a better person, a better cricketer, and it made me know how to deal with adversities a lot better.
I like that takeaway.
Yeah, when I was sharp and ignorant, I would have been looking. It made me a better person.
Yes.
And the captaincy helped me develop and look a whole, because a lot of people will remember 1987 World Cup when I didn't run the guy out and got the sportsmanship or whatever. I was a youngster then. So I didn't know how to do a lot of stuff, but as my career progressed, I learned a lot of how to cope with other stuff and to give good guidance to my friends.
Because it's more like a big picture view.
And others. It was the broader picture was, the success wasn't as great as I would have liked in all department, but I was able to become a better mentor, understanding what was happening, and to deal with people on a whole. And I think, if I can say without any sort of ill feeling, 80 or 90% of the guys that I played with or captain or we're still good friends today.
That's amazing.
And that means a lot to me.
Yeah.
So how did you feel being announced that you're going to be the captain? How did that feeling come over you?
I felt like I was the Prime Minister of the region. Serious. Because when I remember I was at Cheltenham and Richie was struggling with a illness, and I captained one guy, and Desmond did a test match, and I think I did 1 something. And I was at Cheltenham playing in a county game, And I got a phone call from Stephen Kamash, he was the secretary, and he says, "We are thinking of you as captain, would you accept?" And I'm thinking, he says to me, "You have a day to think about it." I said, "Well, I don't think I have. I don't need to think about it because I love West Indies cricket. You guys." And then when I went off and speak to Jack Russell, he says, "I hope you told him yes." I said, "Yes, I did." And Jack and I were pretty close, and I had to fly home to then go and select the team. So I missed playing against Curtley in another game. Yeah. When I left home, go and pick
and I cleaned him up.
You cleaned him up?
He wasn't there to fire.
He wasn't there to fire.
I cleaned him up.
When I came back, I heard, "Well, you left us at the wrong time."
Your
mate destroyed us. Right.
But that's the only way we're not destroyed, right? If he wasn't there, because you'd feel bad doing it if he was there.
Well,
because of the friendship.
It's a bit close. I mean, I would have still cleaned him up.
But I'm
not so sure if my players would have handled him.
Because before that, I cleaned him up. You
cleaned him up. You see?
Bit of a revenge.
Revenge, yes.
Sweet revenge.
Sweet revenge.
Yes, I like that.
But county cricket them days, a lot of West Indians over there.
Yeah.
It was tough, man. Because it's bragging rights. I don't want him to beat me.
Yes.
When we meet up as a West Indian players, he'd be like, "Remember that game?"
So it's a friendly rivalry.
But continuing to speak about bragging rights, Curtley, your 7-1 spell against Australia in '93, legendary. Let me just say, talk us through that. I'm a very visual person. Talk us through the moment, what was in your mind, what your strategies were.
Well, we left the 4th test match. Courtney mentioned it, we won by 1-1.
Right.
Truth be told, we should have won that game a lot earlier. There were some questionable decisions from the umpires, but we won't go into that. And we won by 1 run. And to level the series, 1 apiece, with 1 test to go. And in the history of West Indies cricket in Australia, they've never lost at Perth. Never. So history was on our side.
Right.
And we got to Perth, and the wicket, the pitch looks right for fast bowling. And I remember saying to Richie, our captain, I said, "Skipper, if you win this toss, we'll win the test match and the series, because we're going to bowl first."
We go bowl first, yeah.
And the great Alan Border won the toss. And we're saying, "Damn, we'll have to bat well." Because we expected him to bowl first.
Exactly.
He was brave, decided to bat first. Big mistake.
Yeah.
And, I didn't bowl well that first session. I was all over the place, a little too short, a little too wide. The radar wasn't spot on. And Australia went into lunch 80 out for 2 or something.
Okay.
Ian Bishop got both wickets. And then I was upset with myself, furious, because I knew I wasted a new ball.
Exactly.
On a pitch like that.
On a pitch like that.
And I sit in my corner, and then at the end of the luncheon session, Richie came to me and said, "Ambi, how you feeling?" I said, "Ready to go, man," because I want to make amends. Because I was really psyched up.
Yeah.
And I went out there, and then that 7-for-1 spell, everything just clicked. And everything just clicked, and I felt invincible.
Yes, I can imagine.
And Australia lost that game inside 3 days. Lost the series. I understand that they fired the groundsman.
Wow.
All kind of thing. But, I mean, it was just one of those freak moments. That you're just in your zone, and everything you did was just correct. I could do no wrong.
Wow.
And it was one of those things that happened. So I didn't plan it. I wanted to take wickets.
The stars were aligned, as they say.
They were aligned.
So that was it, really.
It was great to watch from the...
I can imagine. Must have been so impressive.
It certainly was. And I tell you, I mean, beating Australia in Australia, for me, gives me great satisfaction.
Yes, I can just imagine.
It's a long way from the Caribbean. It's very costly. So you maybe got few spectators from the Caribbean who can manage to get to Australia. So playing against 90,000...
80,000 fans against you.
Against you. Like I said, if you're not mentally strong, you'll fall apart. So it gives me great pleasure to beat them in their own backyard.
Of course.
So when we talk about, as you said, the pitch was ripe, you're a fast ball legend. When we talk about fast bowling legacy, the West Indies are known, right, for a rich history of fast bowlers. So how did you develop your unique style, and who influenced you to come up with that style, or who influenced you to become one of the greatest fast bowlers that you are today?
Well, my style was all natural. Because as much as I don't like cricket growing up, like every youngster, you play a little wind ball or tennis ball, tennis ball, in the park and whatever. Because where I live in Sweets, there's a cricket field, I'm not even talking about the school.
Right.
Where I live, right? I can stay in my gallery.
And watch cricket pitch.
And watch guys play cricket or hit the basket. It's a basketball court as well, bouncing.
Yeah.
So once I hear bap, 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 I said, time for basketball.
Time for basketball.
When you hear cricket, I was like, okay. You know? So I honed my skills from like when I was 7, 8, 9 with tennis ball, cricket, just bowling like every other kid.
Right.
And other guys who older than me couldn't bowl.
Wow.
You know, they say, well, you know, pelting or you don't think we say you're stone, you know, whatever.
Stoning. Yep.
So I guess I had that knack from a very early age without even realizing it.
Yes.
You know, so my whole thing was natural. I never played youth cricket like Cuddy.
Okay.
When I started for Sweets, I was 20 years old.
Wow.
I played a couple of years in All Saints Secondary School because the captain was from Sweets, the vice captain was from Sweets, so they dragged me.
So they dragged you in,
Just about a little military medium, you know, and do a little batting and thing. But I played because they dragged me in. You know, but when I took it seriously, I was 20 years old.
Wow.
And everybody believed I was late.
Yep, right.
And I said no. I chose my time correctly.
Yeah, because you were right.
But cricket was never my thing.
Yeah.
But as I say, you know, my mother probably had all this cricket talent, you know, and so she was the one who got me.
Moms knows best, they say.
That's what they say. And no, in present day, because, you know, we've spoken about you guys from the perspective of where you started, how you started, your friendship, how that has developed over the years, and your time throughout as a part, of the West Indies cricket team. But let's talk a little bit more now about some of your efforts and passions since cricket. And let me just say, I heard you call him Cuddy a while ago, and I'll just say proudly that Cuddy's restaurant is still one of my favorite places to date. I mean, it's no longer up and running, but going to New Kingston, Jamaica on a Friday night, a Saturday night, oh Lord, that jerk chicken pasta. So, you know, outside of you being an entrepreneur, you know, with a restaurant, for instance, and you being a family man, we know that since retiring, you've been involved in coaching. You know, talk to us a little bit about your approach, specifically around coaching fast bowlers and the key lessons that you'd emphasize.
I can get the specific after, but just to quickly mention, I was a selector as well. A lot of people don't remember that. It was myself, Clive Lloyd, Elding Baptist, and Courtney Brown. A lot of people don't remember that.
Right.
But we picked the team that won the ladies, the under-19 boys, and the senior team.
Wow.
So I have a passion for that, and I think I have a eye for it, or had an eye for it. And I went from that to coaching. So I went to Bangladesh to coach as a fast bowling coach for the first time. In 2016 till 2019. And that was I went there because I wanted to get the experience internationally. And so
right.
I think it served me well. It served me well to sort of gain that experience and to be on that wavelength with them. And then I came back home to get involved with West Indies cricket.
Right.
I was moved over with the women, so I was the women's head coach for 2.5 seasons. We made the semi-final in the 50 overs in New Zealand, got beaten by Australia, and then we did make the semi-final in South Africa in 2023, and then I've been doing with the 100. I go to the 100 in England to do a bit of coaching,
right,
and then I do a bit of commentating. I also went to Zimbabwe in a consultancy environment.
Right.
I tend to get more breaks, it seems, away from home than I do get at home. My passion is still at home. When I remember when I was with Bangladesh, one of the main reasons why I came home, I was told that we need you guys in the systems, and I came back on that premise. But nothing concrete material.
Right.
I never did any work with any of the male teams. I was manager for the under-19 team at the World Cup in Australia way back then, but I've never worked with any of the teams, so to speak.
Right.
But I've always encouraged the young fast bowlers that I see here, and the Jaden Seals, Alzari Joseph, Akim Roach, any of the guys that I can speak to.
Speak to, right.
To them, and if they ask me questions, if I see them doing something, I'll pass it on. I used to do the same thing with Jerome Taylor, Tina Best, because I love West Indies cricket.
Right.
I have a passion for it. And anything I can do to help from the side, I would do it. So that has been my passion still. As I said, I did a little bit of commentary. I just did commentary in the series with Sir Curtley. Pleasure to work with him. And Ian Bishop. It was good to have fast bowling in the commentary box. So we did enjoy that. And those are some of the things apart from the entrepreneurship that I've done. have a restaurant involved with a restaurant in Trinidad and Tobago.
Oh.
519.
Okay, I'm going to
519.
check that out next
The
time.
jerk is not there
Absolutely.
yet.
Oh, man. I'll wait.
Doing very well. Doing very well.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
But, okay, so West Indies cricket, as we all know, we love West Indies cricket, we love West Indies, but it's not the same West Indies. We have a lot of ups and downs with this West Indies cricket now. What do you think, as a professional, as a legend, what do you think is needed to get this West Indies team back to this consistent world-class performance that we had back in, I don't want to say your time, because it make it sound like archaic, back in the time when West Indies was golden with the Golden Boys?
I think we have to go back to basic. We've got to try to get regional teams competitive.
Yeah.
Consistently. We've got to get cricket in the schools, not just in a few territories, but all over,
Yep.
for both male and female, and have things for them to do and enjoy. At that age, you want to be having fun.
Yeah.
And as you grow, your scouts, I would put them, then goes around and see them,
Yeah.
put them in academies and camps at an early age, because most of the territories have that facilities. But we've got to go back to basic, where we get strength in our local cricket, where people actually want to go out and watch.
Yeah.
Get that competitiveness, and it starts from club cricket as well. We used to have big crowds watching Melbourne playing Kingston at Sabina Park with Jeffrey Dozier and Ray
Yeah.
against Michael Holden, Courtney Walsh, whatever it is. We used to get big crowds coming to Sabina Park to Leeward Islands, Curtley Ambrose, Viv Richards, Richie Richardson, Patrick Patterson, Jeffrey Dozier, Michael. We need to get that back out there again, where the fans know that they're going to be entertained and they want to come and support.
Yes.
And get that competitive cricket going, where 40 is not a score. Everybody wants to get 100. You want to get a 5 at all.
Yeah.
And try to build the standard back
From
up
there.
again.
Anything to add from you?
Another thing as well, I think it is high time that we get away from this ridiculous insularity.
Right.
It has been plaguing West Indies cricket for a lot of years. Even when we played and before our time. But those players were so special. They could put aside all that nonsense and go outside and win, knowing that you're carrying a nation on the backs. Right?
Yeah.
And the insularity is still there. It's too much inter-island thing. And from Antigua, I want Antigua. You from Trinidad, I want Trinidad. I hate that with a passion. You talk about the West Indies team. You pick the best players possible for a West Indies team, not where it come from. And that is plaguing us. And I still believe that we need some of the legends around.
I believe so.
I believe so.
These guys didn't win by luck or fluke.
Yes.
They must have known what it took to win.
Yes.
Consistently. And to really ostracize all these great legends, to me is a big waste of time. Get these guys in so they can educate these youngsters. Let them know what it takes to win, what needs to be done and all that stuff. And sadly, the politics and insularity is creeping us, is getting worse. And we need to eradicate all of that for us to get better, to add to everything else that's been said.
But Sir Curtley, you guys have said it here. And I hope people who are watching had paid attention to what they said. Y'all never competed. You were from a different island, but we were West Indies.
Correct.
As a
and
team.
the main goal was West Indies and the winning of West Indies.
Correct.
When we win, I'm going to go back as a winning West Indian for my country. And he's going to go back as a winning West Indian of his country.
It is a hard sport. Probably the hardest sport in the world. Got to stay out there 6 hours every day for 5 days. It's no walk in the park. Now, I'm really happy to know that cricketers nowadays are getting paid well because it's a tough job. However, the problem I have that if money is your sole motivation and you don't care about your performances, I have a problem with that.
It's a big problem.
Because you must take pride in your performance to represent your country is an honor and a privilege.
Absolutely.
Very few of us manage to do that. And if money is the motivation, you don't care about anything else, I have a problem with that. Because I believe if you take pride in the performances, the more successful you are, the more money you're going to make.
People
want winners. But when you go there, make some quick money, and then you figure, oh, I have some money now, and then you don't perform.
Yeah.
Sooner or later, you have no job.
You have no job.
Absolutely.
So, I don't
and
know.
someone
Maybe
else will
old
just
fashioned.
No, old-fashioned is what we need for
I was
excellence.
just going to say, to strengthen the point you made earlier about keeping the legends in, there's a simple saying. You have to know where you're coming from.
Exactly.
To know where you're going.
To know where you're going.
If you can't study your past, you'll do not have a future.
You'll not have a future.
So how
right.
then, with the type of mindset you guys had back in the day, team effort, pride in your country, etc., if that is lost, then how are we going to keep moving forward?
We won't.
You know, it's going to be a dying sport, and we don't want to see that at all. We don't want to see
It's
that.
really sad.
And there's a huge burden on the backs of people such as yourself. You guys handled it perfectly well,
Yeah.
inexplicably well. The new guys are not doing it. You guys made us have superheroes.
I'm telling you.
You guys made us. We don't
The
care.
pride.
I don't want to go play football now because cricket going on. I want to see Curtley Ambrose
Yeah,
bowl, and I want
that's
to see Courtney Walsh. I want to see Viv.
Yep.
That's how we were.
Yeah.
As I told you, Trinidad shut down.
Yeah,
'Cause
same in
everybody
Jamaica.
watching that.
Yeah.
Now, youths, when you see cricket going on, you saying care about that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't care about watching cricket. And when they go to cricket in Viv Stadium, most of the youths playing football in the background when stuff going.
It's really
and
sad.
then a lot of people who there, the game going on there, and they're drinking and because it's not there anymore. The passion is
It's
not
really
there.
sad. It's really sad, you know. And for someone like myself, you know, who have played at the highest level successfully, you know, keep the West Indies pride, and you know, I mean, everywhere I travel, same question: when is West Indies coming back?
When is it coming back?
And I'm tired of it.
Yeah.
I'm tired of it.
Yeah.
You know. I said, don't worry, the talent is there, but you just need to put a few things in place. And
Yeah.
I'm tired of it. You know,
Yeah.
because I tell you this. When we travel to Australia or England or wherever we go, even though they want their team to win, like Courtney mentioned it earlier, they appreciate good cricket.
Yep.
We play a different brand of cricket. And
Yep.
even though they
That's-
want their team to win, they appreciate good cricket.
Fact.
You know, and let me tell you, talking about it sometime.
Yeah, it frustrates you, right?
Well, listen. We know, and I feel like we all share your passions for sure. But you know, on a lighter note, so we were talking earlier about life after cricket, and we know that you've transitioned from cricket to music and some coaching. And how has that been for you? How has that kind of helped you to grow as an individual?
Well, first thing I said to myself when I retired from cricket is that I want to give back.
Yeah.
Because giving back means a lot to me.
Right.
I'm not looking for people to big me up and say, oh, Ambrose did this, Ambrose did that. That's not my thing. I've learned a lot over the years. When it came to West Indies team, Cody was there, so Viv and this guy, and I learned from these guys as I go along, right? And I get a lot of satisfaction giving back. So when I left cricket, I went and did all these coaching courses. Now, I did it for just one reason and one reason only. It's because it's the way of the world.
Yes.
Right.
You're looking for a job, they want a piece of paper to say go through. It's not because I don't know cricket,
Right.
Yes.
but it's the way of the world. So I did all of that. I'm a level 3 coach. So I do coaching from time to time. I spent 2 years with the West Indies senior team. We won the T20 World Cup in 2016, and then I was let go.
Right.
You know, I was going to use different words, but I keep it clean.
Yes.
I was let go. We were celebrating.
Yeah.
And before anything, they cut my
They
throat.
cut.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Wow.
but I still do coaching from time to time. I do commentary from time to time. I enjoy them both with a passion. Coaching, giving back means a lot to me.
Yeah.
Commentating, talk about the game from a different angle means a lot to me.
Of
Yeah.
course.
So I enjoy them both. And then, of course, I play music.
Yes.
I mean, my bass guitar. As a matter of fact, I was home practicing because I have music to play. And, I got to keep practicing. There's no shortcuts in music.
That's right.
When I was a cricketer, I could find little shortcuts here and there. In music, there's no shortcuts.
Right.
Especially on a bass guitar.
Yes.
Right? 'Cause you play 2 bad notes, the whole world.
The whole world know, yeah.
That don't sound right.
That don't sound good.
So I like to practice a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To keep me, but so apart from that, I love to fish. I go fishing a lot. Have
Wow.
on the rods. I got about. He's clearing his throat because I go without him.
You
most
go
of the time.
all the time.
I went with them once and nothing, and then they blame me as well.
I don't blame you.
So that's
all the time.
that's one of my favorite pastime, fishing. I mean, I want to catch some fish, of course.
Yeah.
But just be around the
Just
seaside.
being there, yeah.
Just
Calmness.
meditating.
Yes.
Clear your mind, think about things and things, So I do that a lot. So those are my passion, really.
And gentlemen, your time, we know your time is valuable.
Yeah.
So really quickly before we have you run out, for both of you, quick advice to young cricketers now and aspiring cricketers. Quick advice.
First, you have to love what you do.
Yes.
If you're going to play it just because your friend is playing it, it won't work.
Yeah.
You have to love what you do and just enjoy what you do. There's no point going all day thinking about the result. There's a process. You have to start here. There's a starting point. There's a middle, and then there's the end. But so I would say to youngsters, love what you do and pursue it. There'll be negative influence. Turn those negatives into positives. Because you're going to have friends, even family members, you're wasting your time, If you're really serious about it, you can block all that out and turn those negative comments into positives. There's a start, there's a middle, there's an end. Don't look at the end result just yet. There's a process. So you get started and you go step by step until you get to the end. But you must love what you do and enjoy what you do.
Mr. Walsh.
You have to love it, you have to have passion. And I always tell the kids that you're going to have good days and bad days.
Yeah.
Enjoy them both.
Yeah.
And on your good
I like
days,
that.
you don't need anybody to tell you those are good days. The stats will speak for itself. But you have to have that passion, the will to want to have fun. You have to enjoy it. Really go out and express yourself, but make sure there's a level of enjoyment in what you're doing. And once you're enjoying it, other things will come. And the last thing I always tell them is that you're never too young or you're never too old to learn. There's always something that you can learn somebody else. It might not be a player, whatever, you can learn from others. So don't ever think that, okay, I'm playing for 3 years now, I know it all. You're never too old to learn.
Absolutely, I love that.
If anybody who's watching this could feel what I am feeling when you guys go down memory lane. It's so passionate to hear you talk about memory lane, and then you feel the same feels, like you transfer that energy and he's back transformed in that time. I feel like I'm in that time and I was never even there. You know what I mean? So I feel the passion of it. Guys, goosebumps for having legends in the around the table.
Absolutely.
It's been such a pleasure.
Thank you.
Anytime.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
My pleasure.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
6 out. Brian Rao takes the catch at the first slip. On the Queen's Park Oval, West Indians are jumping around both on and off the field. That's gone.
Well, it was the ball before that did the damage, not only to Jack Russell's hand, but in his mind.
Off the field.
Interviews, insights, dreams taking flight. We show them how to handle the spotlight, preparing them for the journey ahead, building confidence, the words left unsaid. From the grassroots to the national scene, young athletes chasing every dream. In every game there's a story to tell. GN Sports Show, we know them well. GN Sports, where the youth lead the way. Champions of tomorrow, making waves today. From ages 5 and up, we help them grow. It's that time to shine on the GN Sports Show. GN Sports Show. Interviews where the youth lead the way. Champions of tomorrow, making waves today. From ages 5 and up, we help them grow. It's their time to shine on the GN Sports Show. GN Sports, where the youth lead the way.